Hey, how you doing? My name's Jay Malone. I'm the owner of Passive Profits, and each week I read my newsletter just in case there are folks like me out there that like to listen as they learn and consume content. So here we go for this week's post. I created this newsletter to start a movement that will help millions of business owners earn passive income, grow, and win back time with their families and freedom in their lives. That's exactly what I experienced after digitizing my consultancy services. $75,470 in passive income and climbing. But here's the real news. Those digital products drove $815,266 in sales of my little three-person company's premium services. These are the wins you want for your business too, right? Well, that's my mission, to help you create passive income streams by turning your skills and services into digital products. And today is the day that we get started. Today I'm announcing free access to the system I use to achieve these results. Why digital products? For one, they're simple and inexpensive for you to build and distribute. They're also simple and low risk for your clients or customers to buy. As clients buy these low ticket offers, you speed up their time to value. In turn, their trust in you and your premium services builds. All the while, you're bringing new revenue into the business. These revenue generating digital products are marketing your high ticket services. As a result, you've transformed your marketing from a cost center to a profit center. You've built a growth flywheel. The best part? These are marketing assets you own, unlike ads and social media that you rent. Of course, this makes sense to you. It sounds promising, right? But maybe you're like me back in 2019. You're worried if you can and should use this kind of growth strategy. You're nervous that digital products may cheapen or dilute the value of your core services. You're anxious about distracting yourself or your team. How can you justify spending time on three-figure products instead of your 5- and 6-figure services? All the questions I was asking myself. At the same time, your customer needs are evolving. Your competition is innovating, but you remain fixed on the flagship services you've always sold. As a result, your sales stagnate and your cash flow slumps. Actually, just a quick break. I talked to a founder yesterday that expressed long sales cycles, 12 months, 18 months, and how his interest in digital products was to help fill in the gaps while he's waiting to close the big deals. You can do what you've always done in these situations. Crank up the sales engine to promote your services, hire a lead gen agency, do a bunch of outreach, pay for ads, churn out content, and tweak your SEO. That'll probably work. You'll close a few deals and throw yourself into fulfillment for several months. Then what? Start the cycle all over again? Been there. If it sounds like I'm describing your exact situation, it's because I've been there. So has every other founder reading this with you today. What I'd like you to consider is that there's another way to grow your business, a way that won't dilute the value of your core services, but deepen them. What's stopping you is the fear that you might waste time on the wrong things or do it the wrong way. What if I could help you cut some of that fear and guesswork? I don't have a magic wand, but I do have a system that's worked for me. What if I showed you that system? What if I also gave you frameworks and templates to start building your growth flywheels? That's what I've cooked up inside my upcoming Growth Flywheel webinar. 1 hour, I'll share my story and systems with you and 24 other founders, free. You'll learn what it looks like to focus on the client problems you're already solving, right? So not inventing new problems to work on. That can be distracting. Sometimes it's necessary because you have to completely innovate your field and your market, but that's not what we're talking about here. So focus on the client problems you're already solving, innovate new ways to deliver client value faster, deepen the impact of your core services, start earning revenue at launch, right? So as soon as that digital market goes out, if you do it the right way that I'm gonna help you learn in this system, you'll start earning as soon as you announce it. Generate passive income and improve your cost of acquiring a customer and your customer lifetime value or client. So here's where the limiting beliefs kick in for us, right? Without having to invent more hours in the day, Is that what I'm talking about? And without taking you away from running your business will continue to operate. I'm not going to pull you away from your business for long stretches, not with this system. Does this sound like what you need? If so, click the button, sign up for the upcoming webinar. This is going to be the first one. It's happening when you click the button. You'll see the details. It's happening Friday, December 15th. It's free, but intentionally limited to the first 25 signups. I'm keeping this one intentionally small. Save your spots while seats remain, and I will see you there. Okay, this week I also added a new section to the email. I hope you like it. It's kind of like it's me building in public, which I appreciate. When I learn from other operators and founders, I really appreciate seeing their process. So I hope you do the same. It's kind of like what I've been looking at and appreciating, and just things in my personal life as well. So back office brief is what I'm calling it for now. It's a peek into the things I'm thinking about and working on. One is my LinkedIn strategy. So I use LinkedIn to help founders discover this newsletter, right? These social media platforms are great discovery engines. It's currently my primary acquisition channel, but that's hard to do when the algorithm throttles your content. I'm definitely in the throes right now. LinkedIn is, I have a whole follow, just to give you a little bit of background here, I've completely changed directions with this newsletter in a lot of ways. So my existing network of about 10,000 people, the algorithm is looking at me talking about digital products and growth strategy and flywheels and all these things. And I think it doesn't like that I'm changing direction. I'm not talking about product management and discovery and design thinking. I'm talking about this other topic. And maybe my network also is confused by my change in direction, but with time, that's going to change. So luckily, along the way, as I'm, refiguring out LinkedIn, I found Dana Daskalova. I hope I'm saying your name right, Dana. Dana's actually a subscriber. She shares gems, really like bombs, about doing LinkedIn the right way. I mean, there's a lot of people that share helpful LinkedIn tips out there, and I've just found Dana's to be just really helpful, right to the point. Don't often have to scroll through clickbaity, she doesn't do the big hooks, which are really driving me nuts at this point. She just kind of gives you some really helpful information about LinkedIn. So there's a link to find Dana on LinkedIn. You should follow her. Challenges. Last week, I announced my 30-day product launch challenge. One person enrolled. Not great, but honestly expected. It was my first attempt, my first announcement. As we know, marketing these things, repetition and consistency is really key. And see below my last and final piece in the back office brief about repeating yourself. But I believe in this program. It's going to provide a ton of value. I'm really excited about it. So to grow signups, I created the free webinar, which I announced above. At the end of the webinar, I'll announce more details about the challenge. The webinar is good enough for getting the do-it-yourself lone wolf started, right? So if you're the kind that just wants the tools and the templates, give it to me and you'll do the experimenting. That's what the webinar is going to give you. The challenge is really prime time for doing it together with an engaged cohort, right? So we're all going to be in it, and I'm going to be guiding people through the system with even more. So the webinar, I'll kind of paint a picture of what the system is. And in the challenge, the 30-day challenge, we're going to be in it together, really going through the nuts and bolts of the system, working in pods. So you'll have accountability groups. It's going to be awesome. Here's the flywheel then I'm assembling, just to show you how I'm thinking about the webinar and the challenge and what else I'm working on as a business. So the free webinar will drive paid signups to the challenge. At the end of the challenge, I'll offer premium one-on-one coaching, which will be even higher ticket than the challenge itself. The challenge I've announced at $250 for the 4 weeks, which I think is a great deal. You tell me. And then I'll repurpose the insights. So as I go through the webinar, even the office hours that I do on a weekly basis, by the way, if you haven't signed up for those, you should. There's a link at the top of the yourpassiveprofits.co website for office hours. As I'm doing these office hours and running the webinar and hosting the challenge, And then doing the one-on-one coaching, I'm getting like a ton of insights and challenges and questions and feedback and ideas and brainstorms. And what I do is I'll repurpose that into making this newsletter even more valuable, packed with like really helpful content. And that starts to create my viral loop of a business. And then over time, I'm going to start to add more things in, courses, and like at a point there will be a real mature and self-perpetuating flywheel. It's going to be great. Okay. And last, parents equal marketers. Marketers know the importance of repeating themselves. There's a link to a post that I talked about how important it is to repeat yourself as a founder, as a marketer, as a salesperson. And what's one thing parents do more than anything else? Repeat ourselves. Take this morning. I asked my son, his name's Jason, he's a junior, multiple times if he cleaned his room, specifically asking, what about the clothes on your couch that have been sitting there for 2 months? Yeah, Dad, got them. And there's a picture. Sure enough, what's sitting on the couch? His clothes. So when in doubt, repeat yourself. See you next week. Oh, wait, by the way, one last thing. Big milestone, tiny but mighty milestone that we hit this week with Your Passive Profits newsletter. We hit 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. If you're, you are part of the first 100, the OGs of the Passive Profits newsletter. I really appreciate it, especially if you've helped to share this newsletter. It means a ton to me. I can't do this without you guys. Next up, we're heading for 1,000 subscribers, and then 10,000 and 100,000. Big goals. And last but not least, hello to Anne, Dana, Eric, and 9 more founders who joined Passive Profits this week. Welcome. Thanks again. See you next week.